Prince Edward keeps a relatively low profile, but he's got more in common with celebrity royals like Prince Harry and Meghan Markle than you might think. Here's what we know about the trio's relationship. Prince Edward is the youngest child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. He and his wife Sophie were tapped by the Queen to fill in as mentors to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle when they joined the royal family. And it turns out that was for good reason. The foursome have a lot in common. When Harry and Meghan showed up at their last royal engagement as senior royals in March 2020, they spent most of their time with Edward and his wife. As Express reported following the day's Commonwealth service, Harry and Meghan were photographed laughing with Edward and Sophie, and all four clearly felt very comfortable with one another. Queen Elizabeth was famously close to Sophie, the Countess of Wessex, who married Prince Edward on June 19, 1999. Elizabeth was a stickler for the rules, which is a trait she and her daughter-in-law reportedly shared. This might have been why Elizabeth asked Sophie to be a kind of royal mentor to Meghan as her relationship with Prince Harry developed.
It was so sweet and natural and very romantic. He got on one knee.
Meghan and Sophie also have somewhat similar common backgrounds, as Sophie gave up her own successful career in public relations to join the royal family, much like Meghan chose to leave acting behind when she married Harry. Both couples lived in Windsor, and Sophie and Edward had a lifestyle that Meghan and Harry similarly wanted to adopt for themselves and their children. Like Meghan, Sophie also had a bit of a rough time with the royal family at first, though her problems were different from the ones that Meghan faced. Back in 2001, Sophie was recorded by News of the World giving several candid comments about members of the royal family. The outlet ended up publishing a whopping 10 pages full of everything that Sophie divulged in the so-called Sophie tapes. As noted by The Guardian, Sophie was captured speaking freely to an undercover reporter about her personal political views, a big no-no for members of the royal family. She was also recorded sharing her thoughts on then Prime Minister John Major. Unlike Sophie's secretive slip-up, Harry and Meghan sat down for a high-profile tell-all interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2021 that made headlines around the globe. While many members of the family declined to comment on the interview, Prince Edward surprisingly got quite candid about how he felt about it while chatting with CNN. Edward appeared very sympathetic to Harry and Meghan's claims, even offering up that each member of the royal family has had to wrestle with similar dilemmas in different ways, depending on their own situations and responsibilities. As he put it, "Listen, weirdly, we've all been there before. We've all had excessive intrusion and attention in our lives, and we've all dealt with it in slightly different ways. And listen, we wish them the very best of luck. It's a really hard decision." Prince Harry and his brother Prince William have been battling it out in a years-long feud, reportedly made worse by the Oprah interview, and most of the royal family appears to be interested in staying out of the emotional tango the brothers are dancing. In an interview with the BBC, Prince Edward revealed that he definitely makes all attempts to avoid getting caught up in the middle of the brothers, and he also avoids weighing in on the ongoing tension. As Edward told the outlet,
"I stay way out of it. It's much the safest place to be."
Edward separately spoke about the rift between the pair and the rest of the family in an interview with CNN.
It's difficult for everyone. It's difficult for everyone. But as I said, that's families for you.
Harry and Meghan's decision to step back from senior royal duties in January 2020 resulted in the rest of the family divvying up the pair's tasks, responsibilities, and even patronages among themselves. Edward and Sophie found themselves in the position of taking on more and more of Harry and Meghan's responsibilities, and even showing up as representatives of the royal family more frequently than they had in the past years, according to Express. In October 2022, Hello reported that one such move came when Sophie became the first member of the royal family to visit the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Edward has similarly doubled down on his royal work and has devoted his time to the Wessex Youth Trust, which he and his wife founded ahead of their marriage in 1999. He's also been nurturing the Duke of Edinburgh Awards since his father passed away in April 2021.